So I've captured 5 life lessons from Fast Eddie Rickenbacker that I believe apply today. These can help us in times of adversity and in our fight for economic liberty. They are: 1, strive with excellence. 2, maintain fidelity to principle. 3, put aside differences when required. 4, persevere through faith. And 5, have the right attitude always. So let's walk through these. Number 1, strive with excellence. Notice I did not say achieve with excellence. That's because it doesn't come cheap or easy. Eddie Rickenbacker was a troubled teen when his dad died in a work-related incident. He quit school and worked any job he could find to help his struggling family. It was there that he became fascinated with the early days of the auto industry. Young Rickenbacker took a correspondence course to learn how to be a mechanic, and his hard work paid off. He caught the eye of automobile entrepreneurs like Harvey Firestone. He demonstrated excellence and rose through the ranks, eventually becoming a race car driver and eventually owning the Indianapolis 500. As the First World War began, all careers shifted. Eddie volunteered and started as a military driver for officers in Europe. But because he'd mastered mechanics, he was soon asked to be the chief engineer at a flight school in France. And that's where he became fascinated with airplanes. And he leveraged that into getting an opportunity to get a pilot's commission and go through the flight school himself. His fellow pilots, they looked down on him. He was uneducated. He was unworthy. He hadn't gone to college. But Eddie's continuing commitment to excellence made it possible for him to outshine all of them. And when the war ended, he brought down 26 enemy aircraft and earned the moniker Ace of Aces. That's our first lesson. When facing adversity, become so excellent that you can't be ignored. No matter your business, do it better than anyone else. And don't just complain about what's wrong. Lesson number 2, always demonstrate fidelity to principle, even above self-interest. There's so many examples where Captain Rickenbacker chose the right path even when he could have taken the easy way out. As one example, he refused to take bankruptcy when he was $250,000 in debt. In today's dollars, that's over $4 million. He wasn't going to go bankrupt. He paid everybody back, every penny. In his early years, he actually made a lot of money racing cars. He made the equivalent of $1 million a year salary, actually $40,000 a year at the time. But he did not hesitate to join the war effort. He gave up $1 million a year salary. He further stood by his principles after the Great War when he testified at the court-martial of General Billy Mitchell. He knew his commander was being falsely attacked and was willing to stand up to the Department of Defense and set the record straight. He put his career on the line for what he knew to be right again. Oh, did I mention he also closed the Indianapolis Speedway for the war effort? He knew that there were more important things than racing cars, and he felt the military could use the rubber, the steel, and the gasoline. Even when Captain Rickenbacker was promoted major in his retirement, he turned it down. He felt captain was the proper rank. He chose principle over personal benefit. Time and again, that proved true, and that's the second lesson. This is not a time to cut corners or take the easy way out. We can't cheat in elections even if we think they're cheating. Now, a third lesson is the importance of putting aside differences when something greater is at stake. I've already shared how Rickenbacker opposed the New Deal and was punished by Roosevelt for doing so. Despite this, when Roosevelt called just after Pearl Harbor, Captain Rickenbacker responded. He was asked to undertake a secret mission and deliver a message to General MacArthur. It would have been so easy to say no. At least put up a fight. Rickenbacker was a civilian. To make things harder, Roosevelt wanted him to be a vocal supporter of his policies and rally the troops in the Pacific. Not only did Eddie Rickenbacker do it, he did it without complaint despite great hardship. He had a national attention, but he demonstrated his loyalty because he felt it was an important cause. Now, we may face such moments when we have to support something or someone because the cause is just, even if we disagree with the others promoting it. Maybe when Muslim parents want their schools to stop sexualizing children, Kelly Shackelford will step in and say they have free speech and religious liberty rights. Standing up for what's right can often bring some unexpected costs and consequences, and that leads us to the fourth lesson. Captain Rickenbacker had no way of knowing the high price he would have to pay to complete Roosevelt's mission. This is a man who had endured many hardships. He had faced death countless times in his missions as a fighter pilot. He'd been in car wrecks, threatened by the president, nearly bankrupt, but he had no idea that his greatest trial would lie ahead. And it was the direct result of putting aside his differences to do what he believed was the right thing, and it almost cost him everything. This trial nearly killed him, but through it, he uncovered a faith he never knew he had.